talking about fighting for your money, Brett, I posted some pics on my social media on Monday night to go along with the game one in the World Series. We're going to jump into some baseball now. And the over 8.5, it nearly hit. Gurriel's home run was about a foot away from it being able to clear the over of 8.5. Instead, it was an 8-run game that an 8-run game was what it was. 8.5 was the over under. 8.5 is the over under again on Wednesday night, Brett, with a 5-2 game here in the bottom of the fifth. It's interesting because we've seen the bats come alive at least in these first two games, but it hasn't been just an outpouring of runs quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the big story for me from game one was probably Charlie Morton getting
Absolutely.
a few outs on a broken leg there. That's really impressive. I don't think I've ever seen that, let alone in a World Series game. So, shout out Charlie Morton. How about Jorge Soler? First person ever, Higgins, in 117 World Series to hit a home run as the first batter in a World Series. So that was kind of cool too. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun series. I think I don't want to push the bull before the cart, but I think this one may go back to Atlanta 1-1 Higgins, and your 7-game series bets might be in play there.
Now that Atlanta did steal one in Houston, those game sevens possibilities are much more in play now, so those bets are looking very good. Brett, you said that you feel like it might come in 1-1 going into Atlanta. I kind of agree, at least with the score, with Astros leading 5-2 here in the fifth inning on Wednesday night. But as we go on, what is it going to mean for the Braves to be without Charlie Morton in that lineup? You mentioned he had a few outs on that broken leg. The Braves bullpen did fantastic to close out that game, but they're not going to get that ace for another start later on in this series, and that could mess them up. I'm worried.
Yeah, I guess the good news for Atlanta is Houston is in trouble too. Houston pitched Urquidy tonight because or on Wednesday night, excuse me, because he's a fly ball pitcher, Higgins. And if the Astros want to have Yordan Alvarez in the lineup in Atlanta, he cannot DH, so it's expected he'll play in the outfield. And you probably don't want him running, chasing fly balls, so Luis Garcia will start game 3 for the Astros. But from the Braves' perspective, to answer your question, obviously this is what they paid Charlie Morton for, to be there in the postseason, to be that calming presence, that steady hand. He looked like he was locked in last night. Unfortunate circumstances, but the Braves have. It feels weird saying this. The Braves have the better pitching staff in this series, like regardless of situations. But there's going to be a lot of bullpen baseball in this series, especially in the NL ballparks. I don't know if you see a pitcher go more than 4 innings in the National League ballparks with the pitchers batting. Runs are going to be needed, and we've seen many a time in the postseason, Higgins, managers are quick to pull starters. Guy gets on, up, that's it, you're done.
Yeah, and when it goes back to game three, we don't have lines yet for game three, obviously, because I think it's going to be very impactful of whether it goes back 1-1 or whether the Braves come back 2-0, going back to Atlanta, which, like I've said a few times, that game's going on as you and I are recording. So we don't have lines for game three on Friday yet, but I'd be looking for Braves money line, the home team money line. Home teams have dominated in this MLB postseason. I think that's going to continue in this World Series still.
Yeah, definitely possible. Although I guess technically the Braves already won on the road, so there's the hole in your theory, Higgins.
Absolutely, there is a hole in that theory still.